Hi everyone, welcome to today's video blog. We're going to talk about the importance of strategic planning and using certain events during a year to leverage performance marketing. Next to me is Kyra. She is a senior performance marketer at R17 and managing amongst many other second-hand bags, which had just in that month a huge success. Welcome, Kyra.
Thank you very much for having me.
Cool. So the first topic, or the main question is kind of, maybe you talk a bit about the importance of planning top-down campaigns down to the ad level, because it's something that you're very, very good in.
Yeah. Yes, so one thing oftentimes when brands come on board or when you chat to brands, it can be quite daunting looking at a whole entire calendar year in advance. So what's really great in that aspect is to focus on major events during the year. So that can be Easter, Christmas, even Thanksgiving for American clients. So looking at those major events and saying, right, what are we going to push and what's our objective for that specific event? Because that makes it pretty much very easy to say, okay, we have like a timeline of a month to develop creatives, think about what we want to achieve during that time period, and also come up with some creative ideas on how to leverage that. Because sometimes it can be a bit boring for consumers even to have a blanket 20% off discount. So doing something fun and creative like we did for second handbags with the advent calendar, where we have like the hidden NFTs for each day and the massive discount and voucher that you can win with every bag purchase. That's a fun way to really interact and have customers interact with your brand a lot more. Also looking at the different campaigns and then asking very basic 4 questions to really achieve those objectives. So one thing I like to look at is, the simple questions of who, what, when, and where. So you take in who do you want to target, who is your target audience. So that could be, if you want to delve into a new market, that can maybe be an awesome way to do that. Use a massive event to really break through to a new audience group. How long is this campaign going to run for? When in the year is it going to run for? Are you going to have a small micro sprint of, a 7-day campaign? Or you could even have it run for a month, just depending on what you want to achieve. Longer campaigns are nice to really engage with customers, but shorter campaigns can also drive urgency and really push sales.
And I really like that methodology that you're using, because it's kind of combining general marketing strategies with paid media or performance marketing, right? And you can really leverage these events. I mean, I think on second-hand bags, we did a lead generation also upfront for these advent calendars, so we could really boost our top-of-funnel acquisition audiences that we can milk now later in December. So if you combine these things, it really gives that extra kick also in performance.
Yeah, definitely. That one thing, that's a very good point that you're making is it's also important to realize that even though you want to always target your middle of funnel, those conversion driving audiences, it's important when you get these major events to do a bit of brand awareness and acquisition to really fill up that funnel so that you really push them to convert, because people are still a bit skeptical when they first learn about a brand. So using these major events to really leverage them and have them become a part of your brand family is really cool.
So when it comes to a very practical approach of, let's say, planning top down, you mentioned even in the preparation of that talk that you plan it down to the ad visual level. What tool are you using? How do you make that plan?
So a really nice way to really take those visuals. So Pinterest is one of my favorite platforms to use. A little bit unconventional, but is looking at what are other companies doing that are maybe similar to your brand, but then also take a very polar opposite brand to your brand. Look at what are they doing and maybe find key takeaways and really of their top creators and see how you can perform it and add it to your creatives. And then using Facebook ads libraries also a sneaky tool to use because it also, researching your competitors, seeing what they're putting out there and seeing how you can either better that creative or even do something completely different. So that's how, what I like to use.
Yeah, or even build ads on top of them, kind of find the weaknesses and then direct or approach these weaknesses.
Yeah, there's a lot of tools out there that can really help you to find the perfect visual for you. And then also very important, leading up to these events is doing constant creative testing.
Yeah.
So even though it doesn't have to be your final creative, take the concept that you want to use and then test that 3 weeks before the time. Have a week, find learnings, find things that might have worked, didn't work, tweak on that, and then you can really approach your creatives with some data-driven facts as well.
Yeah, makes sense. And when it comes to the planning of the actual campaign, right? I imagine obviously you ask you 4 questions: what, where, when, and what is the last one? What, who? Yeah, obviously audience. Do you use Excel or Trello, or how do you structure, let's say, a massive event like Advents Calendar down to the visual?
So Trello is a great tool to use because you can create different cards. So you can even put down, take those 4 questions, create 4 different cards, and then put in different ideas. So, find at least minimum 3 different audiences you want to target, as best practice, and then, work it down from that level and then, break it down. Ask yourself the question, okay, where are we going to target these different people? Because also what you need to keep in mind is that, your younger audiences are on different platforms than your older audiences. Yeah. So that's also a great way to create creatives that are going to target those different audiences on the different platforms.
Cool. So last question, what was your, let's say if we use again the event of the Advents Calendar, because it was just a masterpiece of project management and planning it down. What were your greatest learnings on that event now?
My greatest learning was you have to have a dedicated team. So when you put a task team together that's going to handle campaigns like that, you need to ensure that everyone understands their role and you need to divide the tasks evenly. Because sometimes what can happen is if you take all the ownership on yourself, you can sometimes drop the ball in different aspects. We are good at multitasking, but we aren't always great. That's why if you have a great dedicated team that knows exactly, what everyone's handling at that specific time, it makes it super easy to just come together and be like, right, this has been done, this has been done. And that's what makes for a great, successful
awesome.
So having a great team.
And also, I think making them very much aware of the same vision, right? I mean, so now we have, let's say, one part of the team is Shopify developers, then it's designer for paid media visuals, and then it's performance marketing. And make them all known what the actual goal is, right?
Yes.
Which is just very much needed, because the landing page needs to have a high conversion rate. So the Shopify developer must think what the customer audience is, etc., etc. The same for the visuals.
Yeah, definitely. That's one of the biggest. It's sometimes the biggest challenges because sometimes everyone's not on the same page. So even as a project manager, you need to ensure that everyone knows what they're doing and having clear deadlines. It's something so cliche in the marketing world is using that SMART approach, that it's really timely, that it's relevant, that you know exactly, that it's measurable as well. Yeah. Because if people don't have dedicated deadlines, it's easy to then, fall in a slump of, okay, when does this need to be done? Yeah. How is that going to be done? Yeah. So that's also super important.
Awesome. Yeah, I think we've come to an end. Thank you so much, Kyra. That was very valuable. And I hope we can review the second Handbags Advents Calendar probably in January.
Yeah, definitely.
In another talk.
Cool. I'm very excited.
Good.